Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Assessing Livingston Parish with Jeff Taylor. And hi Jeff, how are you?
Jim, I'm doing very well, thank you.
It's all about millages.
Yes.
You kind of spearheaded this, getting these entities together to talk about their millages and explain what it is about their budget that's going out there and that we as residents are paying for.
Right. Well, one of the things that even some of the districts have said, you know, you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
This is not just because of the 2024 reassessment. I've been working on this for years to try to get the entities to come together and explain to them why they're going to either lower or raise their millages. It matters not to me as the assessor. Now, as a consumer, it does matter to me.
Sure.
But as the assessor, it doesn't matter. But I do like the fact of transparency. And you and I and several other people in the media had lunch the other day.
Yep.
And one of the things that we talked about, I want to get on billboards. I want to get on the podcast. I want to be on the televisions. We're now reaching out to all of the major TVs. We're trying to get on there to let people know. We're trying to be as transparent as possible that this assessment is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the thing about it is the reason it's so much bigger is we had a flood in 2016. So we had flood discounts all the way through 2021, 22. Then COVID happened and we had a COVID discount. So all that had to come off.
Sure.
And so it makes now for us to have a large increase that you should have probably been paying all along, except for this last 4 years, but you should have already been paying for it, but you didn't have to because the districts and myself, we gave you some reductions.
Yeah.
But now the tax commission says we have to put them on for fair and market value.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're doing this. And so this year, look, if the districts didn't think it was going to be rough on them taking a lot of this money, they wouldn't be agreeing to have this with me.
Sure.
Okay. So we've been, like I said, been working on this 20 years, and finally in 2024 we get it to happen. So people need to pay attention that this is going to be serious.
Yeah.
It's going to, and I'm not trying to oversell it, but if you think I'm playing, you need to come out there. We've got our books open now. You can start checking your assessments. That usually don't happen until August 15th.
Right.
We want you to come in and look at it and see what it's going to be. Bring in proof to us that if you think that the assessment is incorrect, you got to bring proof. We're not just going to take your word for it, but bring us proof. If you've got things on the interior, we don't go inside.
Yeah.
Bring us proof that your assessment should be lowered, and we will look at it, and we will help you where we can. But even with that, you look at our total value is going from like $586 million last year, $600 million, to $900 million this year.
Wow.
That's a 33% across the board increase.
Yeah.
But it means your taxes could go up more than that because the first $75,000 is homestead exempt. So when you build all that in there, you're looking at a substantial increase. The beautiful thing about the way that it's supposed to work is when I do my numbers, I send them to the legislative auditor.
Yeah.
The legislative auditor sends us back a figure that says, if you want to get the same amount of money you got last year, which the law says you have to get at least what you got last year, if you want to get that, this is what this millage is going to be. But at the same meeting, if you want to take a windfall, you can raise your millages to this.
Right.
So at this point, my job is finished. I've sent the assessments. They've now sent back the numbers for us on the millages. This is where you ought to be to get the same money as you got last year. Anything more than what you're paying this year is the districts. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the assessment because the assessed value goes up, the millages go down to accommodate that.
Yeah.
But at the same meeting, they raise them to the maximum. There is that. That's the thing that's important that people understand.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important. And look, 3 of the 5 podcasts that we've done now, we've talked about millages and this millage meeting, and the reason is it's important.
Yep.
It's important that you show up for it and you listen to these different groups throughout the parish talk to you about their particular millages that they impose. And that way, if you have questions, they can answer them for you. And so I'm sure Jeff Taylor he wants to see a packed house.
I would love to see a packed house because, again, this is something I've been working on. But if you show up, 5 people show up, we're going to have no difference.
Yeah.
You have 300, it's going to make a difference.
That's right.
And so, again, I say that over and over and over, but it is important that you pay attention to this. Because there's going to be some districts there, they're going to talk about their budgets and what they're going to do. Look, it might cost a little bit more to live in Livingston Parish than it does in other areas. It might. But they're going to explain their budgets, not me.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair for me to try to, I don't educate kids. I don't protect you with a gun. I don't come put a fire out at your house if anything happens. I don't work on drainage. I don't work on libraries. I work on the assessor's office.
Right.
So I can tell you what I'm doing in there, and I keep up with that very well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the other entities, it shouldn't be my responsibility, nor does the public want me to be involved in that.
No.
They do not want me. They want me to be the assessor.
Right.
And so each entity is going to come out there and they're going to defend their budget. Yeah. And they're going to maybe show you where they need some extra money or where they don't need some extra money. I can tell you in my office, we want to do a flyover.
Yeah.
We've been doing flyovers, but last year we didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
So I am going to take a little bit more, but I'm not going to take 2.1 million more.
Right.
I'm going to take enough to pay for that flyover, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And so my millages, I can already tell you, we're going from 8.52 mils down to 7.23 mils. I'm knocking off 1.2 mils off of mine. You say that's not a lot. Well, that comes out to be roughly about 18% of my budget.
Yeah.
That I could take. Yeah, it means a lot.
Sure,
so now I can do the flyover, and so when the real estate agents and appraisers and everybody, they're coming in to look at the houses, and they can show, okay, this is what was added, this is what was not. And we can do a lot of that assessment from our office, which in turn saves money.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
When you're also working with the other agencies, and you, like the parish president's office, I needed an IT guy.
Yeah.
Okay? I didn't need a 40-hour week IT guy.
Right.
I needed somebody that could come over and help me with my printer or my keyboards or something that's not working. So I got with the parish president. I said, would you work with me on a cooperative endeavor that I can use your guy that you're already using, and you may not need him for the full 40, you may. But if I need him to run across the street to help us with something like that, can we use? Yes, did a cooperative endeavor. That's how you start to fix things.
That's right.
Instead of me doubling up and paying somebody 40 hours, I can work with his.
Yep.
Mapping is the same way in our office. So you can start to see how you can start to drop some of these millages, because why go buy another mapping system when I've got one?
Yeah.
And I gave it to you. You don't have to pay a penny for it. You don't have to rent it from me. You don't have to do anything. So it's those things that when you start working together, you start to find out, okay, we may be able to find some money here.
That's right. And working together, tightening the belts a little bit where you need to. And look, there may be some millages out there that are completely justifiable. And heck, they may not be enough in some cases. Yeah. That's what this meeting will open your eyes up to.
100%. And that's what I've told each one of the districts. And right now we have this confirmed. We have the sheriff's office. We have the parish council. We have the school board. We have the library. We have Fire District 5. We have Fire District 4. We have the town of Livingston, which I told him, just like I told the other municipalities, if you come out there and there's nobody from your town there, you're basically talking to the wall, because it matters not what you do with your millages, because nobody's there to listen to it.
That's right.
But that's the ones that we have now. Council on Agents not coming because they just passed a tax. They can't do anything. They've got to go back to the max by law.
Sure.
JDC, same way. They got to go back to the max. Yeah. So that's the parish-wides that are coming, and we're still reaching out to other people to come in. Anybody that wants to come, every district is invited, and we're going to give them equal time to talk, but we're also going to give people time to ask questions.
And feel free to reach out to your district leaders and just see if they're coming. If they're not and you'd like to see them there, let them know.
Let them know. Communication is key, and we're finding that I'm really excited about this meeting.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it, because it's going to give us a chance to educate people on how the millage process works, because for 150 years, nobody knows how it works.
Right.
They just know that the assessor is a bad dude. He goes in there and he raises all of our assessments and everything.
Yeah.
But when you see the mechanism of how it's supposed to work in education on it, you go, okay, he does. By law, he has to do this. This is his job. If I don't do that, I fail a ratio study.
Right.
Livingston Parish ends up in the paper on a negative term.
Sure.
Who wants that? Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
So you want to know that the person you've got in that office is at least doing the job he's supposed to do, and that is to fairly look at the property. Well, at that point, when he does his job, now how do we make sure that we're not having windfalls go into these districts?
Right.
That's what it's all about.
I couldn't agree more. And look, normally you would have to go to a bunch of separate meetings in order to get this information. That's what this is all about. They're all in one place for you.
All in one place.
One trip, one shot. And really, you can't beat it, because if I want to know, about the sheriff's office budget, and I want to know about the assessor's office budget, typically those are two separate meetings taking place at two separate places.
Yeah.
Now they're going to all be under the same roof.
Yeah.
It's unprecedented in this parish, I believe.
It was funny because there's people that said, you always hold your meetings at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, we try to hold them within office hours. Okay.
Right.
That's inconvenient because people that work, they can't make it.
Right.
So we decided, let's change it to where people can come to the meeting.
Yeah.
And then your older people said, it's not convenient because we don't like to drive at night.
Yeah.
And I said, well,
I mean,
there's only so much you can do. And then you've got 5-6 days out of the week that you can do it on. And if you happen to, you got council meetings on Thursday, you've got commission, other meetings on Mondays and Tuesdays, municipalities. So all of a sudden Wednesday comes available. We can't do that because we got church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You start to see how when you're trying to place everything in there, you cannot please everybody.
No,
we're going to a Monday night. We're going to put them all together there, and we're going to make it to where everybody can come in and ask. Now, we're not going to stay there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We're going to start the meeting at 6, and we're going to start it at 6. I'm going to stand up and start speaking. And I'm going to start off as the assessor. I'm going to welcome everybody there. I'm going to start off. This is the assessor's budget. This is what we're looking at. This is what I had last year. This is what I'm looking at this year. I'm going to lower my millages to here.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be that short. Now, the questions can determine this.
Sure.
But if it goes, I'm not going to have people get rowdy. That's not what it's about. It's about information. But what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to go back if you want to go to a district meeting now when they vote, because they can't take any official action here. This is non-official. This is just inviting to give information.
Yeah.
But when they go back, we're going to post it on our website. When each district sets their meetings, we're going to post it.
Sure.
So you can know when it is. So if there's one that you want to see, ABC district, okay, you want to see that one. It's going to be held on July the 10th at 6 o'clock at somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
You can now go to that because that's the one that interests you.
Sure.
Library, anything like that. So that's what it's about, is to go in there and hear their budgets, go home and digest it a little bit and see if this is money that they need.
Yeah.
It may be. Or if it's something that you have questions about, maybe.
Yeah.
We're going to take questions. And then from there, we'll go from the district meeting.
Yeah, there you go. And so, look, let's pack the house at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who has an interest in this parish, that pays money into this parish, you should go to this.
Yes.
And it's not a gotcha meeting or anything like that. It's just a meeting where you're going to get information. If you have legitimate questions, feel free to ask them. And if whoever is up there that you're talking to, if they can't answer it at that specific time, I'm sure they'll get back with you.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it just will continue to drive this parish. You say it all the time. Why not Livingston?
Why not Livingston? And look, here's the thing that's important. If we do it 1 year, and then next year everybody goes back up to their maximum millage, you've accomplished nothing.
Right.
Because at next year we're going to have all this huge amount of increase in taxes.
Right.
But if we do it every year and the districts know that they're going to be held accountable for it, because I plan on doing this meeting. If I'm the only one sitting out there in a chair and I'm sitting in the middle, I'm planning on doing this meeting every year.
Yeah.
But if we don't do it and everybody lowers their millages this year, which not everybody's going to lower the millages. I've already heard from some of them. They're not.
Yeah.
Okay. They've got reasons.
Sure.
And they've told me what those reasons are. I'm like, I understand your reasoning. Gotcha. Tell that to the people.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's what we want to do. But if we come in this year and somebody lowers their millages and the next year they go back up to the maximum, you've accomplished nothing.
That's right. That's
you
right.
got to do it every year. So I'm going to make it convenient till you come in every year. Billboards, newspaper, podcast, television. We're even trying to get on some of the spots on Channel 9 and Channel 2.
Yeah.
Because people listen to them. Find out that you really want to get those at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because there's a lot of people that get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch the news. So we're trying everything that I possibly know to do.
Yeah.
To let you know to come in. Come in now and start checking your assessments.
Yeah.
Come in now. Don't have to wait till August 15th. You don't have to wait to the official open book period. Our books are open now. And you can go online, you can call us, or you can come in, and we're there to help you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You know, I have people all the time, they say these things about the assessor does this and that. what benefit, if you slow down and just think about it for a second, what benefit is it to the assessor to raise assessments higher than they're supposed to be?
I can't see it.
What benefit is it? He gets no more money. He don't get any of the money that all the districts get.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And he gets yelled at.
And he gets yelled at. And every 4 years, I got to go back to these people and say, I tried to do it honest.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing it right, I can't tell you I did it right.
Right.
I can, but you can find out I didn't do it right. There is no benefit to me not doing my job.
Right.
So therefore, if it's this, count on it being right.
Yeah.
So now the ball is in your court. You need to show up and let them know that they may not need to take this windfall.
That's
some
right.
of them are, some of them's not.
And look, that's why it's so important that you do show up. If you show up, it's, and this thing is successful, then every year these guys and gals that are coming in to speak, they're going to feel like this is something that's worth it to them, right?
Yep.
If a bunch of people show up to speak on this topic and no one's in the audience, they're thinking, why am I there?
Why am I there?
Yeah.
And why would I lower it? Because it obviously don't mean enough.
Right.
Because come November 1st, 10th, 15th, whenever the notices go out,
Yeah.
everybody's gone. So when you come in, they're going to say, go over to the assessor's office, and I'm going to look at you and go, did you go to any of the meetings?
Yeah.
Did you go over here? Because my job is this. Our job really ends August the 30th because all books are closed at that point.
Sure.
You can appeal. You got 3 days or something to do that. But by the time the notices go out in November, we're already working on 25 at that point.
Yeah.
So our job is finished. Now, we always bring people in and we try to accommodate the best we can. If we've made an error, we try to fix it.
Sure.
If they bring in proof of damage and everything, we still try to fix it. But the truth of the matter is the tax commission is getting to the point now where they're saying, August 30th, you're through.
Yeah.
You're starting next year because you've done everything you do. And now that we're really educating people, when I talk to the tax commission and I go over there and tell them the things that I'm doing,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, you're getting to the point that August 30th, we can look at them and say, nope, he
All right.
gave you every opportunity in the world.
Yeah.
Sent you a boat, sent you a plane, sent you a car. You didn't get in.
There you go. Well, we appreciate your transparency, and let's shout out again for people the date, time, and location.
June the 10th. It's going to be at the Sheriff's Training Center there between Walker and Satsuma. It's got a Walker address, actually.
Yeah.
And it's going to be at 6 o'clock. We're going to start at 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
Lord willing. The districts that have said so far that they're coming is the school board, the sheriff's office, the library, the parish, District 5 Fire District, District 4 Fire District, the assessor's office, the town of Livingston. They've all said they're coming. They've given me word that they're coming. So that's 6, 7 of the 8. 2 of them's not coming because they can't do anything with theirs anyway. It's a max meal.
Yeah.
But we've got these others that are coming in.
Sure.
And it's going to be a good meeting. By the way, there's going to be no food. That was asked today. I was called on several occasions, and all of a sudden it hit today that we're supposed to be doing food. There's going to be no food.
Yeah.
This isn't a meeting, just like a council meeting or anything like that. We're not having you come out and having a big social event. This is to get things taken care of. So bring anything that you want to, soft drinks or water that you want.
Yeah.
Bring anything. Snack, eat before you come because there's going to be no food provided.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, eat before you come. I'll be there, and I hope I see a bunch of other people there. I hope we pack it.
Yeah. Did you notice,
should.
Jim, the other day when we had lunch?
Yeah.
Did you see the excitement of the media that was present there?
Absolutely.
Because they were like, this don't happen.
It doesn't happen.
And you're sitting here, you're throwing it all out here, you're laying it out here to us, and we've asked you several questions. You're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. You're going to do it just like that. And all of a sudden, you got them all sitting there, and they're all saying, we want to be a part of it.
Yes.
You jumped in.
Yes.
You need to do a podcast this coming Monday because
Yeah.
we got to have time to post it.
That's right.
Ken Benitez, we got to do this because we got to have time to post it.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
That it is exciting, and the people that live here, I personally want them to have the opportunity to understand this stuff because it's not, if you don't deal with this every day like some of these officials do, you may not understand it, you may not get it, you may not know where that money's going. And that's what this is all about. It's unprecedented in a lot of areas where they just open up like this and let you come in and ask what you need to ask and cover where this money is going. And that's not the assessor's job, y'all. The assessor's job is to assess. It's not to explain what the library's doing with their millage. You may not even know what the millage is in certain instances. Well, that's going to be explained to you.
And it's going to be a running total. I'm going to be able to tell you this is this, and this. That's your millages.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to add up to. We're not just the first time to do this in Livingston Parish. This is the first time it's been done in the state. When I'm talking to other assessors, they're like, you're going to do what? I'm like, I'm pulling them all together. Well, how are you getting them all together?
Right.
They've all agreed. I've been working on it. They said, yeah, you've been working on this forever. Because I'd go to the assessors meetings and I'd tell them, I said, this is what my goal is. This is what I want to try to accomplish. Never happened. You will never get them to do it. And all of a sudden we did.
Right.
So you can't until you do. It is. Man, I'm excited about it.
I am too. So if you got any questions, just shoot me a message on whatever platform you're listening to this on or watching this on, and I'll get the answer for you. And thanks for coming in again and talking millages, and we look forward to seeing y'all next time. Thanks.
Thank you.